Hello there, guys. I'm Isaac.
And I'm Sam.
And we are
Skywell TCG.
First off,
really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
We're getting better at that every single video. Dude.
It's taken a while, but we're getting there.
We're getting there.
Thank you all so much for being here.
We appreciate it. All three of you. We wanted to say hi.
27 as of this video being filmed.
That is true, actually. Yeah, we have 27 subscribers. We think this is a monumental occasion.
Yes.
We're pretty sure that only 20 of those are friends of my parents.
Yeah. And the other 7 of you, thank you so much. We hope you're watching this.
Yes.
In this video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about some information that we've gotten now that we wish we would have known sooner, and just a general update about what's going on with us and the business and YouTube. So, starting off is going to be the business stuff. There's not a whole lot to comment about on that front.
We mentioned last time we're mainly focusing on YouTube and like the things we can do. And so like with business, there's been some stuff happening, but we kind of did like the majority of the stuff that took time was us setting everything up.
Yeah,
and so we've basically got, for the most part, you know, obviously still probably some room to improve. Yeah. We, for the most part, have some, like, everything, like, ready to go and everything. We're mainly just kind of waiting on getting an audience, getting funding, and, you know, different things like that.
So the few things that have happened with the business are mostly related to industry stuff. So I talked about this last time. We have 2 vendors that we've been kind of talking to and building relationships with. And I said last time, if for some reason your gut is telling you that you shouldn't do something, you should probably listen to it. And we ended up having to do the very similar thing. Yeah. So somebody that we had talked to and we felt very like strongly about, they ended up being kind of sketchy about the next time we wanted to order stuff. Yeah. And I just didn't like the vibe. And I think I saved us probably a great deal of trouble in the future by not getting scammed. Yeah. They could have been perfectly fine and I was misreading something, but I'm always going to say trust your gut. I trusted mine, and we went with my second option, and we got products to film with new videos.
Like he said, like Isaac said, you know, trust your gut. You know, it very well could have been something on our end where, you know, we just misunderstood something, but we thought it was sketchy, and we went with that. And by not going with this person, we lost nothing. Yeah. And I just think that's an important thing to establish.
Say no to people and trust your gut.
Yeah, it's okay to say no to somebody. You know, you don't have to feel bad.
Or obligated
to buy from a certain person. Yeah. We have, definitely me, I have no idea who this guy is. Isaac has talked to him a little bit, but we lose nothing by going with another person because we're scared to lose out.
Next up with business is talking about market stuff, specifically the new stuff around Pokemon. We just recently filmed the Battle Partners.
Yeah, Battle Partners. Journey Together is the English version. And Battle Partners is the Japanese, and we've been saying Journey Together like the entire day, basically.
So we just filmed that. It released 2 weeks ago, and we ended up buying the 2 boxes we did for the filming the end of last week. So we're filming this mid-February. It came out at the end of January, so we waited about 2.5 weeks probably.
Yeah, we waited about 2 weeks, and like that's at the time of filming this video.
We had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, we definitely did. There were some great pulls in it.
Cool art cards. I would actually like to open that again at some point, just because there were some cool cards.
It was really cool, and we can technically say it was a business expense because we used it for content.
Yeah,
but it was actually
everything that we're buying.
It was just really cool.
Yeah. One thing we wanted to point out with that one though is we did wait like 2.5 weeks, which we were originally not gonna do. Yeah. We had what we would like to call FOMO, which is we didn't really want to. Yeah. It was at 90, and we didn't want to wait for it to go further than that. Yeah. We did, and I'm glad we did. It got around like 72 after shipping, I think, is what we paid for each box. And if we had gone way sooner, it would have been around 90 to 95, which we thought was a good deal at the time, because it had been sitting around 115 when we were looking at it. So
yeah, we kept waiting for it to go down, and we're glad we did. And we just want to make the point that if you don't feel the need to pay the price for something, just don't get it.
Yeah, just wait.
We wouldn't have lost anything by waiting, and we gained something by waiting. So I'm not telling you to just wait every single time for it to go down. But don't automatically buy into the hype that something has, especially because that has been, the problem right now. Every set has extreme FOMO, especially here in the States, and that's why there are old men beating up children at Costco for the boiling waters.
That is an issue in the Pokemon market in general everywhere right now, is there's so many more people, small businesses, and people getting in the hobby, which is a good thing, but it's not being treated in the right way. there's so many people who have FOMO that everything is just skyrocketing. So if you think it's wise to wait a little bit, then just wait a little bit. We did that, and we're happy we did.
And honestly, I think that we can say that it would have been better for us to not get battle partners than for us to like buy it at $130 each, or something like that.
Made,
you know what I mean?
Not to spoil the video, because I'm not sure how the orders are going to be, but we both made around like $50 in cards on that.
Yeah.
So way under what we paid for them, and if we especially paid the original price, it would not have been worth it.
No, for sure. And like I said, you're not gaining anything by not buying a product. You don't have to buy every single product. Don't think that you're automatically not going to get something just because it's hyped. Just give it a little bit and buy into it later, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. So that's pretty much everything with the business, is just market stuff that's happening. I mean, we're looking forward to the new Team Rocket set that's coming out in probably 3 weeks from when this video is being filmed. By the time this video comes out, it's honestly probably
right when... Pretty close. It's going to be pretty close, It'll be
I'm looking forward to that one. I'm excited for that. But yeah, I think that's everything on the business. So next we're going to talk about YouTube stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and clarify this. I'm in no way a YouTube expert.
We're not YouTube gurus.
We are not.
Okay.
We're better than when we started. Definitely. We've been doing a lot of research and stuff, and
there are just a lot of things we wish we would have known prior to doing the YouTube thing.
It's all
we would redo now.
It's all about the algorithm,
and
basically.
It hates us.
It hates you. It hates you. The algorithm hates you, and that's not like a bitter thing. That's you as a small channel do not make YouTube money because nobody's watching you. And nobody's watching you because you're a small channel.
And by, like, when we say YouTube money, no, we're not expecting to make money off of YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
It's just, like, in general, YouTube has its own system to categorize us as far as, are we money makers?
Yeah. And the answer is no, because our top video is our intro video with, like, 100 views at the time of filming this.
Yeah.
So, of course, we're not going to be raking in the dough for YouTube with, like, ads and stuff. Like, of course, we're not going to be doing that. And so it makes sense that YouTube's not going to promote us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, it's not never ending. So I don't want to say it's like Sisyphus and the boulder. But basically, you have to push the boulder up the hill. And then once you get to the top, it just rolls down by itself. And then it's easy. But that's why you see all of these, like, that's why you see, like, these thresholds. You know, you see a channel with 10,000 subs, and then you check back 2 months later, and they're up to 150,000 subs. And you check, and there's a channel with 1 million subs, and like in a year, they're at like 3 million.
And that's not.
It's exponential because the more popular you are, the more it pushes it out. Yeah. Another thing is we should have waited before posting videos. There's
like a hidden rule that YouTube doesn't tell you, which is it thinks that new channels are bots automatically until it gets to basically run a scan on you and see what content you like and if you are a human. So it generally, from what we found out, it takes around 3 months for YouTube to categorize a new channel as a human. So what we did was we immediately, as soon as we got our business stuff up, we made our YouTube. After we made our first video, we made our YouTube, we posted our video, that was that.
Like the same day we created our YouTube account and everything like that.
We should not have done that.
We should have waited.
We should have made our YouTube when we first started making the business. Let it sit, watch some Pokemon videos on there, because it uses our data from our YouTube channel to help filter out what data it needs to classify these videos as. So it is trying to find the target audience for this video, which is you guys. It won't find you because it thinks we're a bot, basically.
Yeah. It's going to push this out to less and less people until it's like sure that we're not a view bot, basically, because that's an actual problem. Yeah. And so it's almost like it's just an automatically built-in thing because of how bad like view bots and stuff like that like got over time on the internet and just in YouTube in general. And so it makes sure that you're a real person. Which is... Now, of course, we're still going to be posting consistently. That doesn't mean we're going to be like, oh, we're done, we're just going to stop. Like, no, we're going to keep going.
There's a chance that for some reason one of these videos will leak through the algorithm and 20 people will see it and then 40 people will see it after that. And it'll
The way that it works is it pushes it out, but some of those factors like that determine how much it pushes it out, who it pushes it out to. What YouTube does is it tries to find your target audience. It tries to find the people that watch videos similar to yours and send it out into the aether so they can watch it. And so it recommends similar things.
If you're looking to make a YouTube channel, start it now, have it sit on the back burner, and maybe just watch an occasional video related to something that you want to make content about. And then YouTube already gets some analytics about your channel, so it doesn't think you're a view bot or just a bot making YouTube videos out of the gate.
Yeah.
So we're hoping and praying that around the 3rd month of our channel being out and us making videos, we might see a little bit of an incline in click-through rates, just because YouTube should theoretically push us forward a little bit more once it finds our target audience.
Another thing to point out is that also potentially could not matter. The algorithm has rules, and then it doesn't. It's literally like magic. Because whenever you try to teach somebody Magic the Gathering, you're like, look, you do this thing until a card says you don't. You try to do these rules until the YouTube algorithm does something else.
Yeah.
And we're not trying to be like, oh, it's flawed and stuff. I think it is. But I'm not going to give
that's not the point of this.
But that's not an expert opinion. That's just me kind of like telling you how it is.
This is our experience,
and this is what we've learned, what we picked up on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically it for like that. As I said before, it's like Magic the Gathering. The rules matter until they don't.
Yeah.
I saw a channel the other day that was a Pokemon channel, and it had 8,000 subscribers, and each video had 20,000 or more views, and he had 4 videos. That is insane.
That's absurd.
That is absurd. And what I mean by like telling you that is there is going to be a channel that posts every day for 5 years and gets 50 to 60 subscribers.
Yeah.
There is going to be that channel that posts 4
with 100,000
immediately banned. He's in the
algorithm.
He's in the algorithm. And so that doesn't mean that you should feel bitter about the people that happens to.
No.
But what it means is that YouTube has to find your target audience, and
it takes a while.
It's a little bit random as to how it does that, and there's not a lot you control.
And
what I am going to say though is we have learned a couple of things that you can try to tip the odds in your favor a little bit, and that's kind of
this
the
is
next
coming from
part
professionals with 27 subscribers. So take this seriously. Write it down.
Who watch videos of people who had more subscribers than us.
Yeah, so we know what we're
also
talking
just
about.
Actually looking into it.
We've done our research. We promise.
Yeah. So the first one that I kind of wanted to talk about is like the metadata in your videos and your files. So obviously everybody knows that YouTube thumbnails. We actually started like photoshopping ours. Granted, we think that ours are funny.
We do.
We make them.
We need to make a point across here, which is we are funny, but we do the things that we are funny to us.
Yeah,
okay?
correct.
So our thumbnails are bad. We agree. We understand this, but they are humorous, and we will keep doing them like that until we can't.
Our YouTube thumbnails are bad. It is from lack of trying. We think it's funny.
We think it's very funny.
And I mean, legitimately, I understand the point of thumbnails. I hate them. Like a Mr. Beast thumbnail makes me not want to click on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
and that's just a personal thing for me.
Yeah. Read our titles.
But at the same time, you have to. You can't just post an image anymore.
Yeah. So we're doing funny things.
Yeah,
Stick with us.
We try to do funny stuff because we think it's funny to do it.
Yeah, we're
kind of ironically.
We are making fun of the YouTube thumbnail kind of overall thing, which is where we make faces and do weird poses, but we're doing it satirically and we think it's fun. So
yeah. But everybody knows the YouTube thumbnail. Everybody knows the title where you have to be like, oh, look at this thing we did. You have to put 50 million exclamation points and a bunch of letters and caps. Saying all that to say, those things do help, but one thing that I didn't know is that whenever you export your video before you post it, title it and like name the file something at the least very similar to your YouTube title, because it's going to take the actual file name and have that metadata and actually like use that to also help push it out. So don't just call it like YouTube video or so, because that's what I used to do whenever I was
YouTube video
files.
1.
So now whenever I export a file from my editing software, I actually call it something very similar to what we're going to name the video, and you basically want to have as many chances to throw in those buzzwords.
Yeah. So
description, title, thumbnail, the actual file name.
I'm sure comments also do it, to be honest.
We include Pokemon, Japanese,
booster
box, the name of the set.
Yeah. Realistically, we should start including rambling and ranting.
Yeah.
But
anything that like has those buzzwords where it will try to promote to Japanese Pokemon or
we're basically guiding it to
booster
find our
box.
target audience.
Like those things will help guide it to your target audience.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. And like we said, and we're gonna say through this whole thing, it's kind of random. It does its
Yeah.
best, but it's an algorithm. It's not perfect. It is far from it. And so you kind of have to like take advantage of the little things that may help, because it's going to see those words and then put them in there. Whenever you make a description, you can do a set, like a set description.
Yeah.
Basically, like you can do a template. I was trying to think of a word. You can do a template on your description. Now we have a thing linking to all our socials. That is only Instagram. I need to add our Facebook to it. I forgot to do that today. But it has, go check out our socials, and it has a link to our Instagram, which actually, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. You can't automatically link your social medias to YouTube. You have to get verified. And that took me like 2 days to do.
Yeah.
So you actually have to get verified for it to be an actual link, because I was wondering why the link was not working.
Oh.
So that is just like a thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to start linking like Instagram or Facebook or like outside things, you have to get verified by YouTube, which it's very easy. It just took 24 to 48 hours.
Speaking of socials, we didn't know this. You can't link YouTube videos in the description of Instagram posts.
You can't.
Don't try.
Yeah, Instagram does not do that.
No, if you... Well,
you
it
can have
does.
you can have it in your bio, but you can't do it on posts.
You can if you pay for it.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that.
We're not doing that. Even
so-
if we had 1 million subscribers, we're not doing that.
Well, I mean,
It's the principle of the
it's
thing.
like $1. Okay, so for...
It's the principle of the thing. I'm not doing it.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
We'll figure that out.
But you can put the link in the description of an Instagram post, but it won't actually link it. You have to like copy it and put it in YouTube, which at that point, just click on our name and go to our bio.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, that was stupid. We found that out.
Yeah.
We've had some other
Facebook
frustrations.
is pretty good for posting stuff. You can automatically just post your video onto Facebook. So you can do that. Facebook's good, but
So
at the same
thank you,
time,
Facebook.
we're also trying to do that with Instagram. And so we just have to make a post or make a photo as a reel, which we did today, which is very stupid. But we made a photo like,
saved
as
the
a
world.
reel. Yeah, we just saved the world in the photo. And then we posted that out.
Yeah.
And so we're just hoping to get those posts out there so people can go onto our Instagram and then go onto it. It's just not as easy on Instagram unless you pay, which is kind of stupid. Granted, we could be actually very uneducated and wrong about that, but that is what we found.
Yeah. I do want to make a caveat to some of Sam's earlier points about the algorithm. I don't want us to seem like we're coming off as pretentious because of the people who make 4 videos and
Yes.
are getting recognized by the algorithm. It is mostly luck, but those people also probably do have videos that people are wanting to watch.
Exactly.
So it is partly luck, and I don't want anybody to think that we're trying to come off as condescending.
Yeah,
to
that's
be
what I'm
like,
saying, like,
you guys
don't-
made 4 videos and you
Yeah.
have 80,000 views. That's stupid. Why don't we? Like, obviously,
Yeah.
they have to have a good video for people to actually want it to pick up traction. So
Yeah.
try to do your best to make good videos and hope you get lucky by YouTube algorithm. Don't just throw something into the ether and hope that YouTube likes it,
Which we did.
which we did, and we are still going to do because we've already gone down this path. One more thing about the YouTube description templates.
Yeah, so with the description templates, because we got very sidetracked there,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
I apologize. With the description templates, hashtags are very good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. I mean, I'm sure that if you go to almost any YouTuber that like has a decently sized audience and you go to their description,
You're gonna
they have the template
Yeah.
description and they have a crap ton of stuff. That is another way of, I mean, you have those buzzwords in there.
Yeah.
You're putting hashtag Pokemon, hashtag Pokemon TCG, hashtag TCG, hashtag Booster Box. You're
Very
putting all
similar
of this.
words to what you're putting in your description. You
Exactly.
need to
Your
have
description,
hashtags for
your
it.
title. You want to make sure that those buzzwords that you're like, this is what needs to hook people. You need to make sure that those are in every space that you can put them in on a YouTube video. And that obviously I'm like beating a dead horse here, but that's just one thing that it does to be like, oh, and it, you know, puts those words together and then it will actually shoot them out to the people who need to watch it. And that's why you get sometimes, like I've started getting recommended videos with 15 views that are booster pack openings.
Yeah.
But I've started getting those because that's what I watch on our channel and that's what we've been posting on our channel. And so
YouTube
it
is
starts to pick that up.
it's starting to find our target audience.
And so it's basically you're trying, the goal of the algorithm is to send it to your target audience so you get as many views as possible because that feeds YouTube.
yeah. YouTube
But-
wants us to succeed, but the algorithm doesn't.
Exactly. And the way that it's set up is it tries to find your target audience, but it's not going to do that if you don't give it anything. And you have to try your best to feed it as much information as possible as to who your videos are going to go to. And hopefully it finds that group and they watch it. And then it literally gets easier each time because our first video that hits 1,000 views, which we don't know how long that's going to be, but our first video that will eventually, hopefully, hit 1,000 views, that one will start getting pushed more than the one that we did last week on Crimson Haze where we got 50 views.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to push that one because YouTube's like, oh, people are actually watching this.
Yeah.
So once you get the ball rolling, it's easier.
Yeah, as we said earlier, all algorithm stuff is going to be up to a point.
Yeah.
You have to do this, and then it kind of does itself. We got to just push it along.
Yeah.
I think that's everything for YouTube.
That's
stuff.
everything for the YouTube stuff.
Equipment.
Yeah. The last thing that we want to talk about is equipment. This is kind of more of a future thing. We kind of like talked about what's happened, what we're dealing with, and now we're going to talk about like future plans and stuff. We mentioned we want to get into like the Team Rocket set, so like that's kind of on the business and like content side. Yeah. But as for equipment, as you guys, if you have watched the box opening videos, you've seen the jank cam
and it's
shining down right
at
here
an angle.
On the tallest tripod that we had. So there's this brand that I really like, and I would love if they would sponsor me, but they never will, and that's okay. But it's Neewer. I call it Newer, but I've heard people call it Never.
Who knows?
I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I spelled it, because I think it's German. So that's why I don't know how to pronounce it, even though I am Aryan. I'm not. But I'm just saying Hitler probably would have loved me. Basically, there's an overhead rig that we want to get, as I'm sure you've seen from the jank box videos. The jank cam, as we call it, on set here. The one that goes in an angle, that's fine. You can see the cards, but honestly, it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
If you've looked at, I think we talked about this, but like if you look at Skill Check or Meat Canyon has a Magic channel now, which is actually really good. I've really enjoyed that. It's actually really funny. But you know, all of these people, they just have like the overhead rig, and so if you're wanting to get something like that, Newer is a great brand. I've used their lights before. They have a lot of equipment because I've mentioned that I'm a student in college. I am going for digital media, cinema, film, whatever degree you might relate that to.
There are many.
And so I've used a lot. GVM is a great brand, but I'm not. This isn't a rant for all the equipment that I can get excited about. This is a rant on Newer and the overhead rig. So Newer is a great brand. So if you're looking into doing something that is like tabletop and you're wanting to like have like a good angle, there's a Newer overhead rig and it's about $100. And it's pretty, there's a couple of different ones. You can find them on their site. You can find them on Amazon. Mm-hmm. We're planning on getting one of those. We're very excited about it. We think it's going to help everything look better. Yeah. There's a lot more expensive ones. But honestly, if you're like us and you're like, I want to get equipment, but I don't know what to get, everything's so expensive.
Because everything is expensive.
Everything is expensive, but Newer is on the lower end of that, and it's still pretty solid quality.
It's workable.
It's very workable. The lights are good. They have good LEDs. You can get a 2 kit of LEDs for them for like I got them for $120.
Yeah.
And so it might have been a sale. It might be more than that now.
But the point is
they're good. And they're cheap-ish, and they're going to bring up your production value.
So we're gonna try to get one of those.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get an overhead rig. We're also talking about getting lapels. We want to get wireless lapels. Just the mics that go right here. Yeah. We want to get some cheap ones.
That way we might not have to deal with so much echo and us talking over each other.
We're trying our best to edit the audio, and it's fine. You can hear us, but obviously it's not as clear as it could be.
Especially if we had our own individual tracks to talk into.
Exactly.
Also, because we do want to get into some content that's not just this. And
we're not just sitting in this room. We actually want to go out and do things.
But unfortunately, we need microphones to do that with.
Exactly.
It also
so that's another
bad.
Thing. Once I actually, probably in the next informational video, we'll either have those or we'll figure out what we want to get. And so I'll be like, hey, this is the brand I recommend and stuff like that. Because we also want to do that. The camera that we're filming on, I can kind of talk about that. It's a Sony A7 II. It's very good. I got it for pretty cheap on Marketplace from a dude who didn't want it anymore.
You couldn't tell. So I really like Marketplace.
I got a very solid deal on it, but it's a very good camera. I think that Sony's a great brand, and I would recommend them. They're good for photography and video. Canon and Nikon are like the other two, unless you're wanting to get into cinema cameras, which you don't need that for YouTube. Don't buy a freaking Blackmagic or a Red, dude.
Or
don't
Panasonic.
It'd be cool if we had an ARRI camera, though.
That would be kind of cool.
But Sony's very good.
Except for the fact that apparently, if you film for more than 29 minutes and 59 seconds, it just stops filming.
That is true. Sony, a lot of their cameras, it really depends on it, but definitely it's the Alpha series. So the Sony Alpha series does have an automatic timer. It does not record long term video.
Yeah.
So it stops at 29 minutes and 59 seconds.
Which is
a
nice.
lot of the camera, like the cameras in that series and different models of Sony's have that. There's a lot of different cameras that have that. I really like this camera. I would recommend it to somebody, but we're doing videos that are like 30, 40 minutes. And so it's a little bit inconvenient for us. So if you're wanting to do videos that are like an hour long, maybe don't get this camera. Maybe look into a Canon or something like that.
Or just be prepared to stop 30 minutes through.
Yeah. A lot of DSLRs do have some type of built-in timer that you can't really do anything about. So if you're wanting to get a good camera on YouTube, that's something that we didn't really think about that we looked up and found out because I mean, whenever I'm making a short film, I'm not shooting for 30 minutes continuously.
No, we're
so
like 3 minutes at a
until
time
we started doing this,
together.
until we started doing this, I've never ran into that problem. So I've never even thought to look that up to find a solution. And so if you're wanting to do very long form content, I would consider
a different camera.
Just looking into all of the settings of the camera and being like, does this have a built-in timer, things like that. That was a very long-winded way to say that, but that's a problem. Like if you've seen our other videos, you can see where it cuts out on the box breaks. It's easier to hide with the informational videos, but you can see where it does that in the box breaks.
Which we're working on.
Yeah, we're working on. We're trying to cut those down for time, basically, right now. But saying all that to say, look into your camera. Make sure that it has everything and is correct for the type of content that you want to do. Brands, I would recommend a Sony first. Sony is a great brand, and then Canon. Canon has great DSLRs because, like we said, you don't need a big, huge camera for YouTube. If it can shoot in 1080p and you understand the very basics of the freaking exposure triangle, you're going to be okay. And if not, just look up a 5-minute video. It's not that hard.
It's funny hearing us talk about exposure considering our first video. But listen, we're working on it. The lighting should look much better today than it did
we didn't
in our
have any
previous videos.
lights with that one.
We did. We had the external window light.
We used natural lighting. We used natural lighting for that. And what we didn't account on is the fact that we were so stupid that it took us an hour to film that video. So the sun changed drastically
throughout the entire video.
And so we didn't fix that.
So equipment, we've also got tripods. We have a 6-foot tripod. We have like a 4-foot tripod. Yeah. We've got a few of those. We're working on it. We're working on getting things. What's the word? Generalized to make consistent. Videos.
A setup. We want to have an actual setup.
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna get. I'm sure we're gonna get something that's not either we're not gonna be in this room if her roommate actually moves in.
Yeah.
Or your roommate, he's not my roommate. Yeah. Or we'll get a different table so we don't have to keep lugging this one from the dining room in here.
Yeah.
Even if it's like a full.
We might actually buy real brick one day.
We'll at least get a different backdrop.
We're just gonna buy real bricks and then cement them to the wall.
Yeah, that'll be good. Actually, I don't think Tommy would mind if we did that to his room.
Well, no, but my landlord would not give me back my security deposit.
We could just take them out of the wall. We could just break them back down. I think that's everything about equipment that we wanted to talk about. Next is going to be content moving forward and just some ideas that we have. We're still going to keep doing box breaks. We find this really fun.
That's why we want to get the overhead rig so we can make those look more professional
and less stylized, even though obviously they will be stylized.
Yeah.
We have a style, which is this. So we're going to keep doing these informational videos. These informational. There you go. I got there. These informational videos. But it probably won't be as detailed and about the business moving forward, just because unfortunately we are going to be stagnated a little bit just by circumstances. We're not going to be making leaps and bounds with the business or YouTube over the next month or two. So these videos are probably going to be more contextualized to the market rather than us as a business as a whole.
We want to give opinions and advice on things and things that we think that people should know, but we're not going to make a clickbait this is why you should or shouldn't buy this new set that's coming out. We're not really going to do that. So it's if we don't have anything to talk about,
we're just not going to talk about it.
We're not going to talk about it. And so these videos may be 5 minutes one day, then maybe 40 the next. Yeah. Actually,
they're probably all going to be 40.
We ramble too much. There's never going to be a 5-minute video. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Not even our shorts are going to be 5 minutes.
No.
Our
intro video that was 12 minutes, that was supposed to be 6.
Yeah. That's okay. So moving forward, we're still going to have informational videos. Yeah. They're going to be less stylized towards business, probably more just about the market or just random things we find that you guys might actually want advice about, or at least we think that would be good to talk about. So don't know what that's going to look like moving forward. but it's probably going to differ a little bit than the every other week style,
Yeah.
just because we don't really have that much to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
And then we want to try to do different videos. Like you said, we're going to do box breaks and we're going to do these, but we also don't want to just do those
on repeat for the next year. Like
on
that
repeat.
sounds-
You know, like I enjoy watching box breaks, but it's like
we want to have some other
we
stuff.
don't want to do that all the time. We want to have variety.
Yeah.
Um,
So we have what we're gonna do in a minute. Actually, right after we film this, we have like a tier list video that we want to make. We
Yeah.
think it'd be gonna be fun. If
We're
we
going to
just,
see if that's fun to record. We think
Yeah.
it will be, and we're going to kind of like do a couple of those. Maybe not today, but just in the future. We want to do those. Probably the next round of videos we do, we might actually start playing things.
yeah, we want to
as
play
well.
some TCGs.
We want to actually play things, and so we may, start out on Pokemon, or we may even,
Play Magic.
eventually
Talk
play
about
Magic, or
Yeah.
look at different other TCGs.
Yeah.
Like One Piece is popular, so we may even like look into maybe making content around that.
I still think it would be cool to open some One Piece cards
Yeah,
as well.
there's just
So
a
we might
lot
do
of
something.
different variables, and so it's kind of up in the air. Like we filmed videos today, we're going to make our plans. Obviously, like we're not just gonna like sit on our butts and then just kind of be like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But like we're kind of keeping it up in the air. So if there's anything specific that you want to see and you actually care enough to comment,
Please,
yeah,
please.
yeah, like if there's anything that you actually want to see, like let us know.
Yeah, like not even just the YouTubers in us who are wanting engagement. Like actually, we would like ideas for what people might actually want to watch.
Yeah, because we don't want to like if everybody's like don't post another freaking box break, but we are like we have 3. Well, I mean like we want to know that you don't want to
Yeah.
watch those. I will say we can't do sex videos. YouTube does not allow those, so you can't ask for that. But other than that, we can probably make.
We
it
had
work.
somebody suggested, the one suggestion we had so far is us opening a pack with our feet. So if you guys want that,
Yeah.
stay tuned. Sam might do that.
We might be able to do that one because that's not really like nudity.
Yeah.
So
It's just like,
okay, we can't say.
can we not?
Well, I don't know, but I don't want us to say.
Point being, if you guys have comments, please let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear what you have to say. And although it might take us a second to actually apply any of it, again, we film these in like 5 video batches.
We try to film them in batches once a month. Is
Yeah.
the plan. We try to do one weekend a month where we film everything. Well, actually, one day a month.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the plan that we have, and so we're sticking to that. We found that it's a good formula. We're able
works
to
for us.
make it work month by month, basically. But like you're gonna see that these new videos are gonna look differently.
Yeah.
Slightly than the other ones. So it's like it may take us 3 or 4 videos, but we're actually going to take those suggestions. So if you actually have something that you want us to do,
Maybe it's something that you've always wanted somebody to do on YouTube and they never have, which is hard because YouTube has a lot of things. Say it. We might do it if it's something that involves like our genre. If it's something like, I don't know, I don't even know.
Yeah.
If you want us to make domino castles out of our booster boxes and then knock them down with cards.
I was going in a more sexual route in my mind. I was going to say we can't do that. That's pretty much everything that we have. We've struggled with this outro for like 10 minutes because we keep laughing. Saying all of basically everything can be tied into. If you want to see different types of videos, you can just let us know.
Okay.
And then we'll
try to do it.
to improve in the future.
Yeah.
That's
That's our goal is
Yeah, that's basically all I got. That's the good summary of the video.
Yeah.
We have some cool plans that we wanted to share. We had some stuff that we found out about YouTube that we wanted to
just stupid
share.
and we wanted to let you guys know of.
Yeah,
So don't stumble where we fell.
Just
or
do your
whatever.
research on the algorithm. There's
Yeah.
so many guru channels, and it's like they in and
make
of
you pay
themselves suck, but you can get at least one good bullet point away from each 10-minute video.
Yeah.
So if you watch 10 of those, you got 10 new things that you can actually apply to something.
Or just watch all 50 minutes of this video.
Yeah.
And you'll definitely take more away than everything you got from that video. Anyway, I do think that's everything we had to talk about today. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we really hope that you stay tuned for what we're going to be doing in the future. So, appreciate it. See you guys.
Probably a lot of kissing. Right? Right? Yep.